Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Burnett, and this is Prime Time for Teens, a drug-free initiative. So to begin, what does prime time mean? So by prime time, I mean the teenage years are a very prime time to start drugs and alcohol use. So a couple of statistics for you guys. 14% of teens start their drug use prior to the age of 13. 23% start their drug use with marijuana, 9% use stimulants, 5% use opioids, and 4% use cocaine. This is all prior to their 13th birthday. Because of this, I think it's very important to start the talk of drug use and abuse before the age of 13. So the purpose of this campaign is to reduce the amount of teens interested in drugs, wanting to try drugs, and ultimately being addicted to drugs. And I will do this through local education and events. So who is my target population? My target population are teens. Those teens, I'm going to say, between the age of 13 and 17. The reason I say this is because they're not adults. These are teens who are in school, who live at home, and who can be under the influence of drugs and drug abuse. The reasons I say parents is because parents have such a strong influence on their children. If parents are doing drugs or talking about drugs, it is likely that their children are going to want to start drugs. Teachers are another set of people who are very influential on children's lives. Teachers need to stick up and talk about the scarcity and the importance of drugs in and around schools. For my campaign, I'm going to limit it to the East Anchorage area. This will be from, say, Muldoon to Mountain View. The reason I chose this area is because there is a lot of gang and drug abuse in this area, and I think that's a good place to start. It's not too wide and it's not too small, and it's a good place to use the $2,000 pilot plan. So how am I going to achieve this? So the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a video game station. This video game station is going to use programs through the NIDA for Teens website. This website allows children to go on and view and play games that have to do with drug use. This drug use plan lets kids know about the really scary parts like death and addiction. They will then use this video game station at a public library or a public school, anywhere we can get our hands on some computers. Then these kids will take home just, say, some information. This information will then be used. They can go online, they can get emails, they can get on and take some quizzes and stay up to date on what's changing about in the community, how their drug track is going, and trying to stay out of trouble. If they're able to stay on track, keep up with the information, and everything like that, they'll get little gifts and little initiatives to keep them going and staying out of trouble. These can be things such as gift cards or, say, video game books to play more video games. Anything they can think of. We will figure out how to get them what they need and keep them out of trouble and off the streets and out of drugs. So some potential partnerships. A lot of people are wanting to stop the drug problem in Alaska. There's such a big problem here, and we just need to bring it to an end. So some of the places I thought of were some native corporations. The Cook Inlet Tribal Council and the Bristol Bay Drug and Opioid Task Force are working very, very hard to put an end to native drug use. And I think it's really important that we start this end to drug use at a younger age. The next place I thought of was the Department of Health and Human Services. Although they aren't just in Alaska, they're all over the country, and they are trying very hard to limit anything health related. So limit drug use and infections and anything like that. The next partnership I would want with us would be the NIDA, the National Institute on Drug Abuse. This goes with the NIDA for teens, where we will get a lot of our information for free because it is a free website. The last people I would like to have included in our program would be the Anchorage Police Department. That reason is because I do not want teens to be afraid of the police. I do not want them to think that the police are just out there to bust them for drug use or bust them for doing something they aren't supposed to do. Teens should learn that police are there to help them out and to keep them healthy and happy and clean, and that they can go to them if they ever come into a situation where it may not be so good. So that is what my initiative is about. I would like to stop drug abuse in Alaska as well as even outside of our state. But we do need to start in one spot, and I do think that should be in Muldoon and Mountain View. Thank you all for listening, and I can't wait to hear about everyone else's.